This is the Velotric Discovery 1, and this is my Black Friday purchase for the year. And yes, it is indeed an e-bike. And there's many reasons why I got this one over others available in the market. Not only was this the best value, best bang for your buck e-bike currently available in the market, even at its full retail price, as it gives you a lot of additional accessories that normally doesn't come included. You have to buy all separately, like the flashlight, the little bell, but also has some interesting performance stuff. And after several hours with this, of me just being myself, fiddling with the setting, finding out some unique features, and sharing some tips and tricks, especially during the assembly process, I'm gonna go ahead and create this video for not just buyers, for anybody who's doing research on e-bikes and they're considering the Discovery 1. Here are some tips and tricks for owners and buyers who want to find out more about their e-bike and some clever ways to get the most value out of this amazing e-bike. Let's go ahead and begin. Let's start off with the very beginning, and that is assembling. Now, the manual of this bike is actually kind of confusing. So for instance, for some reason, my bike came flip because the front wheels was actually put on backwards. Because once I assemble it, I scratched my head and said to myself, something doesn't look correct. So after going to the manufacturer's website, using the promotional images for references, that's when I discovered that this section actually goes in front. And a mistake I noticed a lot of people were doing, especially on Instagram, is this upper portion where the handle's attached was facing this direction, where in reality it should be facing forward. So this is how you properly assemble your bike. But in terms of clever engineering, they actually have crosshairs in the front, and this is what you'll be using to center your handles in the middle. So use the crosshairs to line everything up. Although in the quick guides for the assembly process for this e-bike, it doesn't really mention when to install the kickstand. I found out it's easier installing it right after you install the front wheel. So as soon as you install the front wheel, highly recommend installing the kickstand and use that because it makes the entire assembly process extremely easy. Now the Discovery 1 flashlight attachment is kind of odd. I think they switched to this unit because I know some of them have a black piece. Mine has a silver. But regardless, the proper way to install it, it goes on like this. Now, a cool feature that this e-bike has is the quick removal front wheel attachment. This makes loading in and out of a vehicle extremely easy as it makes things more compact for easy travel. However, I would personally recommend removing the front splash guard, which comes included, because removing this will give you additional space and makes reassembling the wheel easier. But in addition to that, a con about this is you may think you're more likely to get splashed if you go over a puddle. And yes and no, because the frame of the bike itself should be able to cover you in case you go over a puddle. But since I live here in California, or if you live in a place in the area that doesn't really rain as much, this is not really necessary. So I personally removed mine, and I gotta admit, it gives it a more aggressive look. And again, it makes the bike more compact if you remove the front wheel when you're loading on a vehicle. Now, since we're talking about the front portion of the bike, for a affordable e-bike, the front suspension isn't that bad. It's an 80mm hydraulic suspension that on the right and left side allows you to actually adjust the preload as well as lockout. So if you feel that the suspension is too squishy, feel free to adjust these two settings until you find the right one for your ride standards. Now, after you assemble the bike, a couple hidden features that this bike does offer is, of course, to activate the front headlight. You just simply hold the plus button on your e-bike. This will actually turn on the headlight, but it will also dim down your speedometer display. And then if you turn it off, notice that the brake lights will still illuminate once you trigger the brakes on the both right and left handle. Now, if you long press on the negative button on your e-bike, this will actually enter the bike in walk mode. This is ideal to turn on if you're going on a high uphill incline while you're walking your bike, as the bike will actually start moving with the electrical motor. Now, to quickly check the battery life stats without turning on their e-bike, so long as the battery is placed and connected to the bike, just press down the little button right here, and this will actually illuminate the color and will show you the battery life percentage. Reference the user guide manual to know what each color indicates. And then, if whatever said reason you have to remove the rear wheel, there is a disconnect right here for the electric engine. That actually is a premium feature, which I wasn't expecting. I noticed some budget style e-bikes typically don't have this, and you have to actually disconnect the entire wire from the front housing. This one, I like the fact that there's like a disconnector right here in the middle. Too bad this company is bankrupt. just try and get through my pack. Now, pro tip, another thing I noticed a lot of people were doing, referencing videos and images I was finding on social media, is this awkward bolt right here. There actually is a cover for it. It's included in the toolkit box. It's this little plastic piece right here. This goes over the bolt so you can protect your knees or other things from scratching it. A lot of people typically will throw this piece away. No, this goes right here. Again, something that should be in the manual but isn't. But after watching this video, you are informed. Aside from that, this e-bike is absolutely amazing. If you're in the market for one, here's a mistake that I made, but I really don't care at this point anymore. If you select the Indigo Gray like I did, this is one of the 2 color options that doesn't have a color matching battery. So you're just gonna get a standard black plastic one. But if you go with the mango yellow color or the blue one or the other colors, if you look closely, they actually have a color matching battery pack. So it's only the Indigo for some reason that's just a plastic battery. So that's something I didn't know at the time. So just something I wanted to highlight for you in case you're in the market for one. And to remove the battery, of course, you're required to use the key. You simply just twist and hold and the battery should pop out. And placing on the battery, just look at the very bottom, make sure that these 2 mounts match the mounts on the bike, and you should be able to slide it in with a little bit of force until you hear a satisfying click, and that's how you know that the battery is securely installed. Aside from that, this is one amazing e-bike. I'm definitely looking forward to my official review for this thing in the near future, but specs in general for an e-bike that's just under $1,800 with its normal retail price, you get a lot. As mine is indeed the step through e-bike, but they have the standard body one as well available. The step through, it's just half a pound heavier. So mine weighs 63 pounds and a half. And the motor, it's really strong. It has a motor that could go up to 900 watts, so 500 and 900 watts max, with 65 Newton meter of torque. It has an ETA, or estimated range I should say, of 60 miles under a single charge, judging by pedal assist 1. And the brakes are actually really impressive because these are 2 pistons hydraulic brakes with 180 millimeter discs, and all that has a max speed of 20 miles per hour. There's some clever ways you could hack it to bypass this if you really want. And the batteries, they're not weird, generic, dangerous to explode batteries. It's because this company is actually using Samsung or LG batteries are actually UL certified. But aside from that, there you guys have it. Those are some cool hidden features that this Discovery One e-bike has to offer, and some tips and tricks that I like to share with you guys so you have a nice experience with your Discovery One, or even the Nomad One could also benefit with these tips and tricks as well. So there you guys have it. Stick around for my official review of this e-bike. If you're looking forward to my thoughts and opinion more about this e-bike, I highly recommend subscribing so you don't miss that video upload. And if you got some good useful information out of this video, you know what to do. Greatly appreciate it if you could actually leave this video a like and use the affiliate link in the video description down below if you haven't yet purchased yours, because it will be updated to the latest deal or sale that's going on with this e-bike, especially during these holidays. And I'll be sure to include a discount code down there just in case there's one that's available. So that link will constantly be updated for any latest deals and stuff like that. Aside from that, if you'd like to know more about some other electric ways to travel on the go, check out this video over here where I review the One Wheel Pint, just in case you're curious to check out what the One Wheel can offer. And in that video over there, that's just a video YouTube's recommending specifically for you. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. See ya.